All Saints Day? No.
No. Well, that's the exact point.
Yeah.
Like, why
They
would...
may have done that 150 years ago, but we don't do it now. It's wrong.
I know.
So why?
That's exactly my point. Like,
Yeah,
like if that's wrong, then so should the date.
No.
Well, because
there was different means of finding the date. Before, someone thought it was 18 something.
Yeah, that's right. What were they pointing to for that? Like, I thought of that the other day.
The birth of the kingdom is what the end of the Gentile times.
No, I mean like how they pointed to World War I as the sign.
Well, they had different. They looked at different scriptures and come to different conclusions.
Oh, so there was no
Many were wrong. In the 1800s, they thought the end was going to come. It didn't come.
What made them?
So then they refigured. Well, how do we come to this conclusion? Mm-hmm. Maybe this should be a different conclusion. Look at Daniel and other prophecies and then tie it in with Revelation. 1914 makes sense. And then they thought, well, it had to be 1913. Well, there's no 0 years, so then you got to figure 1914.
So are they just making it so that the dates fit?
No. Not
like what was going on?
No, they had the date before World War I even started.
Well,
they were looking forward to that,
Well, they didn't start saying it was Christ's presence until 1933. So they believed 1874, from 1874 until 1933, and then they went back because they were trying to make sense or have an excuse of what failed in 1914.
When 1914 came, they thought all the anointed were going to go to heaven.
Yeah, and so that's what they were trying to find a reason for.
Well, we didn't go to heaven, so we're still in the last days. We have to keep preaching. And that's what they did. There were some people that had wrong viewpoints and thought 1975 was a date that they could look at. Well,
I remember you and Mom were looking for it, or like looking for it.
Well, we were hoping, yeah, but we weren't.
Didn't you get that living room set, and Mom would harp about that forever? Do you remember?
I wasn't going to pay for it, yeah.
And she's like, even if Armageddon would have came, we would have been sitting on these two sofas. Yeah. See, I remember.
Bought a garage door opener with Sears, put it on time payments. I don't think he still paid for it.
Oh, that's awful.
But people are that way.
What else did anybody else do anything stupid?
Everybody did something stupid.
What did you do? You had to have done.
I forgot it all.
No,
there was a brother that didn't plant a crop in 1913 or 1914. He said, the end is coming.
But he would have looked faithful at the time, and they would have said, "What a great brother." Mm-hmm. But then afterwards, it's like, he jumped ahead.
Yeah,
that would be irritating. Foolish. That would be like, wait, I was like, I was looked good at until then, and then it's like, then you make me look like a dope.
60 years, he was dead and gone. They still said, oh, so and so, he said the end was going to come. He didn't plant a crop. Well, yeah, he was wrong.
But yeah,
he had misinformation.
But he was held on a pedestal up till then, so he got a little benefit of being like, yeah, look how good I am. And that's probably one of the reasons why he did it. It's like, some people do that, you know what I mean?
People do things out of faith.
Yeah. You bought that trailer around that time. Didn't you buy a new house and that was your splurge? Like,
that was 76.
You guys, I remember Mom saying, she's like, well, we bought reasonable things, or like useful things. That's the word she would use. I remember, at least we bought useful things. Like, what did you say? Like, she said blankets, and what did y'all get? That's so funny. Because I remember you guys talking about that.
No, in 1978, the big deal in that, like 77 or 76, I forget what it was. Mm-hmm. Radar ranges came out for microwaves. They call it radar range, which is untrue. It wasn't radar. And bought one. He spent, I think it was $1,000 or $1,200 when they first came out.
This would have been before 75, though.
No, that was probably 76 or 77.
Well, I suppose you would have not just expected on one certain day. You may have expected it for a couple years after that, probably, maybe.
No, we weren't living for any date.
Oh, okay. So you...
No.
I seem to... Didn't you guys gather on... I don't know if it would have been in October, because it would have been October 2nd, was 1914, so I don't know if that would have anything to coincide with anything. If you would have met... Y'all met at the Kingdom Hall.
No.
And then, like, waited... That's what I... Maybe that was somebody else who had said that.
No.
That they waited at the Kingdom Hall for it to
one
happen.
did that. No one did that. No,
Oh, okay.
no talk of it. No one did that.
Oh, okay. Because I would have been nervous.
Yeah.
I can imagine being real nervous.
Yeah. I don't even know what I was doing in October. Octobers go by. What was this October?
Well,
What'd I
you
do?
know what I have to say though,
I don't know what I
that's
did.
not very good though. You should have been looking for it.
Why?
Well, because you would have been caught unawares.
Well, the end isn't going to happen October 2nd.
Well, you never know. Well, some people did. Some
No.
people did. Well, I mean, there was people saying I thought it was actually gonna. That was some people's expectation was
Well, I've
like
seen it.
October 2nd to whatever.
People think the first part of October, but October 2nd is not a date for anything.
Oh, well, no, October 2nd is when Russell declared the end of the Gentile times. October 2nd, 1914.
That's when it was before the Bethel group.
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah,
Didn't
the day he
happen,
announced
so-
it. I
so
guess
we're-
it's the end of the Gentile times.
Yeah.
Then.
We're still.
I wonder, he
Gonna preach.
bet he must have been like scattering. Like, oh no, like what do I say?
No.
I would have
No.
been, I would
They
have
were
been.
just in anticipation of what he was going to say. But when
It's
he-
amazing
when
they
he
didn't
said
like
it-
string him up because like
No.
people would have been like upset like if they donated all their money like back then when everybody had guns and stuff. I wonder if that would happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
get back to work before it gets cold there.
Oops, thanks for food, Dad. So you go on Wednesdays, eh? So you go on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
All right. Now they do them early, huh? A whole half hour early? Is that weird?
For what?
Going at 7 instead of 7:30?
That's okay. Works out better for.
Yeah, to you old folks, it doesn't matter.
There were some that didn't like him because they were working on the other side of town.